Well, it looks like the story of Vic Mignogna and the accusations made against him continue, as various members of the hashtag KickVic movement, including Shane Holmberg, who had came out on Twitter bashing fans and criticizing not only Vic Mignogna and his supporters, but also Nick Rekieta, who had recently been suspended over on Twitter, in attacking him directly and accusing him of doxing and various other things, alongside mocking those who do support Vic Mignogna in having to take the stance of those who do support Vic Mignogna are just as bad as he is. As once more, before we begin, if you guys are new to this channel and of course love anime and Dragon Ball, alongside want to be up to date with all the latest involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Toye, and the entire situation, then be sure to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload and to be up to date with all latest news and information, along with checking out and subscribing to my primary channel, Unreal and Gaming, where on there we are going to be covering lots of Dragon Ball content, anime, and gaming, so make sure you guys go on ahead and check that channel out over there, alongside following me on Twitter at Unreal and Gaming for all the latest updates, including if you guys have any articles and or pictures to tag me in or share with me, be sure to go on ahead and follow me on Twitter. As we kick things off here today with our friendly neighborhood KickVic member known as Shane Holmberg, as Shane Holmberg took it upon himself to bash Nick Rekieta alongside members of the hashtag IStandWithVic movement, as he went on Twitter to go on ahead and post, and I quote, "Nick got suspended for saying he would dox everyone. Wow, you would expect a lawyer to know better." As an individual that goes by the name of Sum87 went as far as to make fun of Shane Holmberg's chair, as Shane went on to respond, "Wow, you are really obsessed. I should probably rent it out for dates considering how much it has been on your minds." As some went on to respond, "Or just have a sense of humor. I got a chair that looks like that, but I don't use my PC at the desk anymore, as the chair never gets used." As Shane goes on to respond, "My sense of humor comes from watching your idol delete tweets and the con he was invited to run a panel at Tanking," basically calling out Nick Rekieta and saying that the convention that he was invited to tanked, and the fact that he was suspended for doxing, which isn't true at all, because Nick would not have anything to gain from this, considering the fact that he is in touch with Ty Beard and his law firm, alongside being a law practitioner himself. So what exactly would Nick be gaining from in telling people that he was going to quote dox everyone? So once again, Shane is attacking Nick and accusing him of trying to dox people and saying that Nick has been deleting his tweets when in fact he wasn't. So not only is Shane attacking Nick, but he also goes as far as to attack Vic Mignogna, as an individual went on to respond to Shane and having to state, and I quote, "Guess what? Humans make mistakes. Did he apologize for missing it? Yes. Did he make a note to tell viewers to back off? Yes. So guess what that means? Anyone who doesn't listen isn't backed by him, nor condones those actions. Free will, dude." As Shane went on to respond, "It doesn't matter what he did afterwards. He apologized for one action, which excuses him and his followers from anything they've ever done in the future, duh." As this individual goes on to reply, again, free will. He cannot control them. And by that logic, the proof and admittance that Mars Girl made rape jokes, apologized for that one action, is also excused from anything she does in the future. And Jessie Pridemore's blackface, they both are excused forever now. As Shane goes on to respond, people still attack Mars Girl for those words, and people still attack Jessie Pridemore for her costume, both who had apologized years past for those things. And yet the same people attacking them are saying to back off Nick because he apologized? Sounds like hypocrisy. No, Shane, it sounds like you're missing chromosomes. It sounds like you are egregiously stupid in the fact that you just contradicted yourself. This individual went on to tell you that Vic Mignogna apologized for said action, and you responded by saying yes, he apologized for one action, considering the fact that Mars Girl and Jessie Pridemore were also being criticized and ridiculed for one action, and they apologized for that. So you're automatically going to excuse Mars Girl and Jessie Pridemore for apologizing for those one actions, having to be jokes being made of, sexual conduct, and of course Jessie Pridemore's blackface, but it's not okay for Vic Mignogna to apologize for this one quote action? That in and of itself is hypocrisy. Because why is it okay for Mars Girl and Jessie Pridemore to apologize and be forgiven instantly for what they did, but the minute Vic Mignogna does the exact same thing and apologizes publicly, it's not okay? That in and of itself tells me that you're not looking for an apology. You people out there that are accusing this man of said things are not looking for an apology. You guys are looking for a public execution. Why is it not okay for someone in today's day and age to admit to something and apologize and be forgiven? Why are apologies nowadays in today's current day and age being scrutinized and downplayed when someone comes out and saying, look, I'm sorry for what I did, it was a mistake and I won't do it again? Why is that so easily dismissed? Aren't you the same individuals that claim that you wanted an apology from Vic Mignogna himself, but the minute he comes out and making an apology, you people are coming out and saying, no, it's not good enough. But when it happens to your sector and the people in your group, it's okay, right? That in and of itself is wrong, and that in and of itself is beyond hypocritical to the highest degree. Not even to mention the fact that nobody is really in control of letting their fans dictate how they want to speak to other people. That's acting on your own free will. Nick never told anyone, Vic Mignogna never told anyone to attack people or dox people or any of that. If someone wants to come out and challenge you for your stance or question you for your position, they have every right to do so, and you have no right to cry about it, because you have one of two choices: either respond in a professional manner and simply answer those questions, or block the individual as you've been doing and carry on with your life. By no means do you have the right to tell people not to question you or not to speak to you for any means of you feeling as if they're harassing you, because they're not. But I digress, because Shane later went on to put out a tweet and having to state, and I quote, "Dozens of people over numerous years. By the logic that people can lie, it would be more likely that Vic and Nick are lying about it all. I mean, two people lying versus dozens sure does seem more plausible." Again, Shane is trying to insinuate that both Nick Rekieta and Vic Mignogna are lying. Why is that the case? Why does Shane vehemently stand behind the victims, in this case the quote alleged victims of having to be hugged and kissed, against those that are coming out with irrefutable evidence pointing out the holes in the victim's story? Shane is absolutely, by definition, biased in every conceivable factor. Bias against Nick Rekieta, bias against Vic Mignogna, and now he's coming out and letting people know, hey, the dozens of people over the last couple of years have came out with these stories, and thus they can't possibly lie, even though prior to this, many people have questioned Shane and asking him, what are the chances of these people having to lie just simply to gain attention, or having to have something to gain from this in ruining the man's career? And as Shane responds, he goes on to state, no, perhaps it is Nick and Vic that are lying to the public. So again, that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. If you guys want to question Shane, go on ahead and do so, because I feel as if opinions should be questioned. I don't condone harassment and or threats, but clearly there is a bias towards one party over the other. And for the most part, a lot of people that have been watching these videos and looking at the evidence have been doing so from an objective point of view. And of course, people don't have a problem in believing Monica or Jessie or anybody else, but the problem is when the stories don't match up and there are inconsistencies in statements and how there is fabrication of evidence going on, it makes it hard for people to believe you. So again, I leave this in the hands of you guys. I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to end this video off with a clip from a user called EmoshisLive. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, if you guys support Vic Mignogna in this scenario, then be sure to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button. Slap a like down below if you guys do. Don't forget to subscribe to my main channel, Unreal Gaming. I will be covering some very deep topics on there in the next couple of days, so you guys don't want to go on ahead and miss out on that. Follow me on Twitter at Unreal Gaming, and without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the clip. Here we go.
So the purpose of today's conversation is to encourage you guys to become a part of this conversation, because what we're going to talk about today is the acknowledgement of people who are willing to stand up for what's right, not for what they feel is right, and not for what people tell them to feel is right. And what makes this conversation even more important is the fact that we aren't talking about an individual. We're talking about a collective effort, a convention, that is willing to stand up for what is right by being fair and by giving Vic Mignogna this very same treatment that these motherfuckers who are accusing him of doing God knows what, they would expect the very same kind of treatment. If someone came out and accused them of something, they would want for us to hashtag stand with Monica, stand with such and such. And their behavior within the past few months on social media, behind people's backs, all over the internet, is dead evidence of that. So HawaiiCon recently came out with a statement announcing that Vic Mignogna will be attending HawaiiCon as a guest and that they're excited for it and they're legitimately celebrating it. And with all the information that we have now, with alleged stories being inconsistent, having to have been proven to be inconsistent, being fabricated, with people being caught lying in the act, even Funimation themselves have tried to cover things up and they have also been caught lying. But that's not enough. That's not enough proof. That's not enough evidence. Their testimonies are evidence, right? We're supposed to believe that. But when we present the facts to you guys, but you guys don't like facts. You don't agree with facts because facts don't care about your feelings. You want people to care about your feelings and nothing more, nothing less than that. Because you're cowards and because you're entitled. And before we even jump into HawaiiCon, because this video is for them, by the way, because they made the effort to at least reach out to content creators like me and to acknowledge the fact that they feel that what we're doing here on the YouTube platform is the right thing to do, that they appreciate it, and that's why this video is being put out. And honestly, I would put out this video regardless because it's a story to talk about. It is something worthy of talking about for sure. We want to be able to bring our nieces, our daughters, our sisters to these kinds of places and feel like they are in a safe place. And considering that a lot of you are self-proclaimed influencers, considering that a lot of you have been on the scene for X amount of time, considering a lot of you have friends in the industry, considering a lot of you have friends who happen to be cosplayers, who happen to also share the stories that they hear based on hearsay, you are obligated. There is an obligation placed upon you to report things when you see it. And the irony here is that for conventions who are willing to bring Vic Mignogna along, they're quick to say boycott them. They're quick to say boycott HawaiiCon.